All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Sarabjit Kaur and with me is VC Pramod. The headlines. Government announces 27% reservation for OBCs and 10% for economically weaker sections in medical education. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new education policy will bring revolutionary changes and provide wings to India's youth, launches engineering education in 5 regional languages. Centre approves 780 new air traffic routes under Udan scheme. Country's COVID vaccination coverage surpasses 45 crore 55 lakh mark. Kerala continues to report surge in corona cases. Central team to visit state today to take stock of situation. Odisha government implements One Nation One Ration Card scheme across state. Authorities making all efforts to evacuate 144 tourists stranded in Lahaul Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. Archer Deepika Kumari enters quarter-finals of individual event at Tokyo Olympics. And in cricket, Sri Lanka beat India by 7 wickets in third and final T20 International to clinch the series 2-1. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. The government has taken a historic and a landmark decision for providing 27% reservation for OBCs and 10% reservation for economically weaker sections in the All India Quota scheme for undergraduate and postgraduate medical and dental courses from the current academic year 2021-22 onwards. The Health Ministry said this decision will benefit every year nearly 1,500 OBC students in MBBS and 2,500 OBC students in post-graduation. More details from our correspondent.
The decision will also benefit around 550 EWS students in MBBS and around 1,000 EWS students in post-graduation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had directed the concerned union ministries to facilitate an effective solution to this long-pending issue during the meeting held on 26th of this month. The All India Quota scheme was introduced in 1986 to provide domicile-free merit-based opportunities to students from any state to aspire to study in a good medical college located in another state. All India Quota consists of 15% of total available undergraduate seats and 50% of total available PG seats in government medical colleges. Initially, there was no reservation in All India Quota scheme up to 2007. During the last 6 years, MBBS seats in the country have increased 56% from 54,348 seats in 2014 to 84,649 seats in 2020. The number of PG seats have also increased by 80% from 30,191 seats in 2014 to 54,275 seats in 2020. Health Ministry said during the same period, 179 new medical colleges have been established and now the country has 558 medical colleges. With Dipendra, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
In a tweet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said this decision will immensely help thousands of youth every year to get better opportunities. He said this will create a new paradigm of social justice in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the National Education Policy NEP 2020 will give wings to the million dreams of our youth. Addressing the academic community of the country on the first anniversary of the National Education Policy NEP 2020, Mr. Modi said the policy will play a key role in India's golden future as the nation is on the verge of entering 75 years of independence. He launched multiple key initiatives in the education sector on the occasion.
राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के तहत आज शुरू हुई योजनाएं नए भारत के निर्माण में बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाएगी। भारत के जिस सुनहरे भविष्य के संकल्प के साथ आज हम आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव मना रहे हैं, उस भविष्य की ओर हमें आज की नई पीढ़ी ही ले जाएगी।
The Prime Minister said the whole education setup was disturbed due to COVID-19, but students quickly adapted to the change and got accustomed to online teaching.
कोरोना काल में देश के विद्यार्थियों ने तेजी से इस बदलाव को एडॉप्ट किया। ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन अब एक सहज चलन बनती जा रही है। शिक्षा मंत्रालय ने भी इसके लिए अनेक प्रयास किए हैं। मंत्रालय ने दीक्षा प्लेटफॉर्म शुरू किया, स्वयं पोर्टल पर पाठ्यक्रम शुरू किए और हमारे स्टूडेंट्स पूरे जोश से इनका हिस्सा बन गए। दीक्षा पोर्टल पर पिछले एक साल में 2300 करोड़ से ज्यादा हिट होना ये बताता है कि ये कितना उपयोगी प्रयास रहा है।
Mr. Modi stated that India's youth will play a crucial role in the vision of Industry 4.0 and Digital India mission. He said youth destined to do great needs an education that is future-oriented and supports their dreams.
कोई आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के क्षेत्र में मानवीय क्षमताओं को नई ऊंचाई दे रहा है, तो कोई मशीन लर्निंग में नए माइलस्टोन्स की तैयारी कर रहा है। यानी हर क्षेत्र में भारत के युवा अपना परचम लहराने के लिए आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। यही युवा भारत के स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम को रिवॉल्यूशनाइज कर रहे हैं। इंडस्ट्री 4.0 में भारत के नेतृत्व को तैयार कर रहे हैं और डिजिटल इंडिया को नई गति दे रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister said earlier students used to go to foreign countries to pursue their education further, but soon students will be able to get world-class education in their own motherland. He added that NEP 2020 also lets students pursue their education in their own mother tongue, and they will have multiple options to choose their medium of instruction. He expressed happiness that 14 engineering colleges in 8 states are going to start engineering courses in 5 Indian languages.
अब हायर एजुकेशन में मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन के इसके लिए स्थानीय भाषाओं में भी एक विकल्प होगी। मुझे खुशी है कि 8 राज्यों के 14 इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज 5 भारतीय भाषाएं हिंदी, तमिल, तेलुगु, मराठी और बांग्ला में इंजीनियरिंग की पढ़ाई शुरू करने जा रहे हैं। इंजीनियरिंग के कोर्स का 11 भारतीय भाषाओं में ट्रांसलेशन के लिए एक टूल भी डेवलप किया जा चुका है।
The Prime Minister launched the Academic Bank of Credit that will provide multiple entry and exit options for students in higher education, first-year engineering programs in regional languages, and guidelines for internationalization of higher education.
Today in Parliament, a discussion on the situation arising out of COVID-19 pandemic in the country and its various aspects is scheduled in the Lok Sabha. The lower house is also scheduled to take up the General Insurance Business Nationalization Amendment Bill 2021 and the Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and Adjoining Areas Bill 2021 for discussion today. While Rajya Sabha is scheduled to take up the Limited Liability Partnership Amendment Bill 2021 and the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation Amendment Bill 2021 for discussion today. The centre said 780 new air traffic routes have been approved under the Regional Air Connectivity Scheme UDAN. Minister of Civil Aviation Jyotiraditya Scindia informed Lok Sabha yesterday that 359 routes have become functional in the country after the inception of the scheme. Mr. Scindia said under the UDAN scheme, 59 new airports have been established. The minister said along with increase in civil aviation activities, cargo handling services have also been leapfrogged. The Parliament has passed the Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill 2021 with Rajya Sabha approving it yesterday amid din. The bill has already been passed by Lok Sabha. The bill seeks to amend the Factoring Regulation Act 2011 to widen the scope of entities which can engage in factoring business. Factoring business is a business where an entity acquires the receivables of another entity for an amount. Factor can be a bank, a registered non-banking financial company, or any company registered under the Companies Act. Speaking on the bill, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said it will benefit the micro, small and medium enterprises of the country.
The Standing Committee came up with its report on 3rd February. That report had one legislative suggestion and about 8 different non-legislative suggestions, all of which have been accepted by the government. Therefore, we would like the House to consider this bill, to give their valuable opinion and consider and then pass this bill, which is very important for the MSME sector.
The government has been making efforts to ease travel restrictions for Indian students enrolled in foreign universities to make their travel to respective countries possible. In a written reply in the Rajya Sabha yesterday, Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan said, Indian missions abroad have been actively taking up these issues with the respective governments and have been impressing upon them to ease the travel restrictions. Consequently, travel restrictions are being eased for Indian students to travel to many countries, including the USA, Canada, UK, Ireland, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg and Georgia. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has said that there cannot be a military solution to the situation in Afghanistan. He stressed that there must be a negotiated political settlement in Afghanistan. Replying to supplementaries in Rajya Sabha yesterday, Dr. Jaishankar said, there cannot be a takeover by use of force in Afghanistan, and India will work with the international community to ensure that political negotiations for the settlement are pursued seriously. He added that New Delhi will never accept an outcome which is decided by force. He said he had detailed discussion with the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken over Afghanistan issue. India's development partnership with Afghanistan includes more than 550 community development projects covering all its 34 provinces and is aimed at strengthening the country, said Counselor in India's permanent mission to the UN, Prateek Mathur. During a debate on peace building and sustaining peace at United Nations General Assembly yesterday, Mr. Mathur said that our development partnership with Afghanistan includes more than 550 community development projects. It is aimed at strengthening Afghanistan. He also said that India has always played a constructive role in peace-building processes, especially in its neighbouring countries. His remarks came after the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said that there cannot be a military solution or a takeover by use of force in Afghanistan.
The External Affairs Ministry has said India has taken practical steps since 2016 to operationalize the Chabahar port, and its efficacy is now clearly proven. Replying to media queries, the ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said India has proposed to include the port in the framework of International North-South Transport Corridor and has welcomed the formation of India, Uzbekistan, Iran, Afghanistan Quadrilateral Working Group on the joint use of Chabahar port. The meeting is likely to take place in the later half of this year. Since December 2018, Chabahar port has handled 134 vessels and more than 2 million metric tons of bulk and general cargo. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government announces 27% reservation for OBCs and 10% for economically weaker sections in medical education. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new education policy will bring revolutionary changes and provide wings to India's youth. Launches engineering education in 5 regional languages. Centre approves 780 new air traffic routes under Udan scheme. Country's COVID vaccination coverage surpasses 45 crore 55 lakh mark. Kerala continues to report surge in corona cases. Central team to visit state today to take stock of situation. Odisha government implements One Nation, One Ration Card scheme across state. Authorities making all efforts to evacuate 144 tourists stranded in Lahore and Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. Archer Deepika Kumari enters quarterfinals of individual event at Tokyo Olympics. And in cricket, Sri Lanka beat India by 7 wickets in the third and final T20 International to clinch the series 2-1. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
India's COVID vaccination coverage has surpassed 45 crore 55 lakh. The Health Ministry said nearly 47 lakh vaccine doses were administered yesterday. The new phase of universalization of COVID-19 vaccination commenced from the 21st of last month. The Union Health Ministry in a statement said the country has reported 43,509 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. A total of 38,465 patients also recovered from the infection during the last 24 hours. The recovery rate is currently at 97.38%. Kerala continues to report surge in COVID cases as it confirmed 22,064 new COVID positive cases yesterday. More details from our correspondent.
The test positivity rate in the state has increased to 13.53%. 128 deaths were also confirmed due to COVID, taking the death toll to 16,585. Presently, over 1,54,000 active COVID cases are there in Kerala. State Health Minister Veena George said that coming 3 weeks is very crucial for the state and urged the people to strictly abide to COVID protocols. Meanwhile, as Kerala witnesses an unprecedented COVID hike, 6-member central team will reach the state today evening to take stock of the situation. The central team will be led by National Disease Control Director Sujit Kumar Singh. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya said that central team's visit is to ensure the central assistance to Kerala to control the pandemic. Mayusha, AIR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
A 6-member central team is reaching Kerala today in view of the rising COVID-19 cases in the state. The team is headed by Director of National Centre for Disease Control Sujit Kumar Singh. The Central Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya said as large number of COVID cases are still being reported in Kerala, the team will aid the state's ongoing efforts in COVID-19 management.
The Odisha government has implemented the One Nation, One Ration Card scheme. Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik launched the scheme across the state yesterday. Our Bhubaneswar correspondent has filed this report.
The scheme allows the beneficiaries to lift his or her quota of food grains from any of the fair price shops of his or her choice, both within and outside the state. Inside the state alone, the beneficiaries will have more than 10,000 fair price shops for their ration to choose from. The state government also launched a vitamin-aided rice distribution scheme under the public distribution system in the tribal-dominated and remote district of Malkangiri as a pilot project yesterday. The scheme is supposed to address the nutritional needs, particularly of the women and the children. The One Nation, One Ration scheme, by ensuring locational accessibility of food grains, also ensures ease of living for millions of the poor and the needy. Girish Chandradas, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
The Assam government has advised people of the state not to travel to Mizoram. In an order issued by Home Commissioner Secretary M.S. Manivannan, said that there have been several violent skirmishes in the border area of Assam and Mizoram. He said recently 6 cops lost their lives while protecting the boundary of Assam. The order also asked those people of Assam who are staying in Mizoram due to work-related compulsions to exercise utmost caution. To commemorate the 75 years of India's independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, an awareness campaign for the youth, will be launched in Chhattisgarh from the 12th of August. More from our correspondent.
To commemorate the 75th anniversary of the independence, the National AIDS Control Organization will conduct a campaign in Chhattisgarh to make the youth aware about AIDS control, TB eradication and blood donation. The state unit of the organization has selected 75 schools and 75 colleges for this purpose. The campaign will be launched on the occasion of International Youth Day on August 12. Under this awareness campaign, schools and colleges will be included in Red Ribbon Clubs. Cadets of NSS, NCC and Bharat Scouts and Guides will participate in various competitions including Rangoli, painting, poetry and essay writing. The entire campaign will be organized in 3 phases in 7 districts of the state and more than 11,000 students will be connected to it. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
In Tokyo Olympics, the Indian players will be seen in action throughout the day today, including badminton, hockey, golf, sailing, equestrian and athletics. Here is a report.
Deepika Kumari qualified for the quarterfinals, beating ROC's Ksenia Perova in the individual archery event. She shot a perfect 10 in the shoot-off against Perova's 7.
And she's holding for a while. Oh, and it's in the 7. Oh, and a 10 to wrap it up for the world number 1 who advances into the quarterfinals. Well, she had a wobble, but in the end, class came through. She held her nerve, and she progresses.
Deepika will now take on An San of Korea in the quarterfinal at 11:30 a.m. today. In athletics, Avinash Mukund Sable could not make it in the top 3 of men's 3,000 meters steeplechase round 1, despite clocking a new national record. Later today, Indian mixed relay team will be seen in action in 4x400 meter round 1. In badminton, PV Sindhu will play her quarterfinal against Akane Yamaguchi of Japan. In women's hockey, Pool A group match between India and Ireland is currently underway, and later Indian men's hockey team will play its group match against Japan. In golf, Anirban Lahiri and Udayan Mane are taking aims in men's individual stroke play round 2. In sailing, Vishnu Sarvanan competes in men's and Netra Kumaran in women's one-person dinghy laser race, while Ganapati Kelapanda and Varun Thakkar appear in men's skiff 49er race 7. In equestrian, Fuad Mirza will be seen in action later today. Tripti Srivastav, Sports Desk.
In some more news from Olympics, in shooting, Manu Bhakar and Rahi Sarnobat failed to qualify for final of 25-meter pistol rapid. Manu ended at 15th position and Rahi finished at 32. In athletics, MP Jabir ended at 7th position in men's 400-meter hurdles round 1. Duti Chand failed to qualify for the semi-final of women's 100 meters. In boxing, Lavlina Boghin is fighting Chen Nei-chin of Chinese Taipei in women's welter for the place in the semi-finals. Earlier, Simranjeet Kaur lost to Sudhapan Sisadon of Thailand in the round of 16 in women's lightweight category. In cricket, Sri Lanka beat India by 7 wickets in the third and final T20 international to clinch the 3-match series 2-1 in Colombo last night. Sri Lanka needed 82 runs to win against the depleted Indian side in the series decider, and the hosts chased down the target comfortably. Vanidu Hansranga was declared player of the match and player of the series for his all-round performance. With this series win, Sri Lanka equalled the honours on this tour after having conceded the ODI series to India earlier.
In Himachal Pradesh's Lahaul Spiti district, over 140 tourists are stranded in Udaipur subdivision for the past 2 days due to flash floods and landslides. Several roads and bridges have been damaged in the district by the sudden flash flood on Wednesday. A report from our correspondent.
All 144 tourists, including children, are stranded at different places of Patan Valley of Udaipur subdivision in Lahaul Spiti district. The district administration has provided food and shelter to the stranded tourists and is in the process of evacuating them safely through the helicopter. Lahaul Spiti Deputy Commissioner Neeraj Kumar said the state government has been requested to provide a chopper to airlift all the stranded tourists, and if weather remains clear, all tourists will be evacuated by the state chopper today. He said the Manali-Leh National Highway has also been restored for vehicular traffic yesterday late evening. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Jairam Thakur will also conduct an aerial survey of flash flood affected area in Lahaul Spiti district today. Sanjeev Sundariyal, AIR News, Shimla.
In Ladakh, relief and restoration of road connectivity in flash flood affected villages in Leh district are in full swing. More from our correspondent.
The administration has restored the road between Bogdam and Turtuk at the line of control border yesterday. Deputy Commissioner Leh, Shrikant Suse, along with SSP Leh, Rajiv Pandey have also visited yesterday for the first-hand assessment of the volume of damage caused to agricultural land, irrigational canal and infrastructure building at Skumarka village. Through the District Red Cross Society, the Deputy Commissioner Leh has distributed relief materials to the affected people and directed the concerned department to restore the work at the earliest. The meteorological department has forecast of light rain at scattered places today also. Yangchen Dolma for Air News from Leh Ladakh.
And now let us take a look at the weather for today. The national capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. It recorded 25 degrees Celsius as the minimum temperature, while the maximum will be around 33 degrees. Mumbai is predicted to have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Minimum and maximum temperatures hovering between 25 and 32 degrees Celsius. Chennai is likely to witness a partly cloudy sky. The temperatures will vary between 28 and 36 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature was 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 31 degrees. Srinagar, the minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 26 degrees. Jammu, the maximum temperature will be around 30 degrees, while the minimum will be around 24 degrees Celsius. Leh may have a generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 12 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 26 degrees. Gilgit, the maximum temperature may go up to 26 degrees Celsius, while the minimum shall be around 13 degrees. Muzaffarabad, the temperatures will hover between 24 and 32 degrees Celsius. Guwahati may have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature was around 28 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 35 degrees. Imphal is likely to have a generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was around 21 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 29 degrees. Shillong, the temperatures will move from a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius to a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. Aizawl is also predicted to have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain. The minimum temperature was 21 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 25 degrees. Kohima may have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperatures will rise from a minimum of 19 degrees to a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius. Itanagar is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperatures will move from 23 degrees Celsius to up to around 32 degrees. Gangtok, temperatures may hover between 17 and 23 degrees Celsius. Agartala recorded minimum temperature of 26 and this may move up to 30 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Almost all newspapers today lead with the centre's reservation policy. OBC, EWS get quotas in all India seats of state medical, dental colleges is the headline in the Indian Express. In a bid to instill confidence in the students from rural and tribal background, engineering courses in 5 languages soon, writes the Hindustan Times. SC weighs in. HC orders SIT probe into hit-and-run death of Dhanbad judge is a lead in the Indian Express. Many newspapers proudly take note of feat of Indian athletes at the Tokyo Olympics. The Times of India with pictures of jubilant sportspersons, captions, India's terrific Thursday at Tokyo, while the Asian 8 states controversial verdict crushes Mary's dream. And finally, the Asian Age has a picture of a majestic tiger chilling out in his enclosure at Mumbai's Baikala Zoo. To mark the International Tiger Day, Centre gave CATS accreditation to 14 tiger reserves across India.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government announces 27% reservation for OBCs and 10% for economically weaker sections in medical education. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says new education policy will bring revolutionary changes and provide wings to India's youth. Launches engineering education in 5 regional languages. Centre approves 780 new air traffic routes under Udan scheme. Country's COVID vaccination coverage surpasses 45 crore 55 lakh mark. Kerala continues to report surge in corona cases. Central team to visit state today to take stock of situation. Odisha government implements One Nation One Ration Card scheme across state. Authorities making all efforts to evacuate 144 tourists stranded in Lahore Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. Archer Deepika Kumari enters quarter-finals of individual event at Tokyo Olympics. And in cricket, Sri Lanka beat India by 7 wickets in third and final T20 international to clinch the series 2-1. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.